So real quick, let's talk about why morning routines suck. So when it comes to morning routines, a lot of people think that if they have a morning routine, they are going to be productive, that they're going to be successful, and then all these ideas, right? Because those are the associations that the self-help world kind of like creates. Is it's like morning routine, and if you have one, all successful people have a morning routine and all this and all that. But the reality of a morning routine is this: a morning routine primes you to be able to make the right productive decision for the rest of your day, right? So it is the one thing in the morning that allows you to be able to prime the rest of your day towards the right decision. But if you don't have the opportunities to make the right decisions, then it doesn't matter. But then the morning routine itself can help you with your other goals, right? When it comes to working out, when it comes to like clearing your mind. So like if those are part of your goals already to begin with, like then it's good also, because it's not just priming you, but it's also you doing the things or the actions to be able to get closer to those goals, right? But in reality, if you really think about it, you don't need a morning routine at all. Like, if you've seen, or maybe you've heard of people who are successful but are fat, people who are successful and don't have a morning routine, people who are successful and are loners, or people who are successful and are married. The reality of success is that anybody and everybody with whatever circumstance of life can reach success, and you don't need one thing to be able to reach success, right? But obviously it can help, but the reality is that you don't need a morning routine. It can prime you towards making the right decisions. But if you already aren't presented, or you haven't put yourself in a place in your life where you can make the right decisions, right? Meaning, like, if you are trying to accomplish your goals, but then you're not taking actions towards your goals, and then you're just kind of like preparing, for example, like nonstop perpetual preparation, then you'll never have to, then it won't matter. If the routine itself is just for the priming, then it doesn't matter, because you're never in a position where you have to take action or you have to make the right decision, because it isn't in the cards for you, because you haven't set it up to be that way. So that's something to think about when you're creating your morning routine, is that the routine itself isn't going to bring you success, especially with your business, because your morning routine has nothing to do with your business. The only thing that has to do with your business in regards to your morning routine is you, because you're the one that's showing up to your business, right? So if it can help you show up to your business, then great. But if there is no business, then it doesn't matter. So that's something to keep in mind, something to consider. And then these are the things that I want to be able to focus on, and that I've been kind of like doubling down inside of 2026, is that I want to focus on figuring out how to really reach success, knowing who we are, and really focusing on what's important. So if any of that is important to you, or if that's interesting, or it piques your curiosity, I have a school community called Project Misfits that I'd love for you to join, and I hope to see you there, and we can dive deeper into what can actually reach success, how we can actually reach success, knowing that we're individuals, knowing that we're different, and knowing exactly what we're trying to strive for or push for. I hope to see you there.